If you're a true Liverpool fan, subscribe to Anfield Signal. Liverpool $47 million transfer move should not be forgotten after Jeremy Jacquet deal. Liverpool sold Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen in the summer, with the England international doing well in the Bundesliga and the Champions League, learning valuable experiences. Given the injury problems and lack of form that have dogged Liverpool at centre-back this season, it is easy to wonder how different things might have been for the player and the club had Jarell Quansah remained at Anfield last summer. But the senior England international, who turned 23 last month, needed a guarantee of minutes. With Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate ahead of him in the pecking order, a move away made sense. He could have filled in at right back, but that isn't his best role. Jarell is fast, strong and comfortable on the ball, Arne Slot said at the back end of last season. He has every ingredient a centre-back for this club should have. Now the last part should be consistency in his performances. To achieve that, Quansah needed to play regularly. As a result, a $47 million £35 million move to Bayer Leverkusen was agreed, with a buyback clause that comes into effect from 2027. I have been learning from some of the best players around me at the time at Liverpool, Quansah said in October. Being able to do that has been so good for my career. It has always been a big part of it. At this part of my career, I need hundreds of games to be where I want to be. I think overall that's why the decision was made and why I thought going abroad was best for me. Quansah has started the majority of Leverkusen's games so far in the Bundesliga and the Champions League. Aside from 4 fixtures, 2 where he was injured, 1 where he was suspended, and 1 where he was rested, he has been a mainstay. Bayer Leverkusen brought in a lot of new faces last summer, and Quansah is one of the few who has actually managed to nail down a starting spot. The general consensus is that he's having a solid first season. He's settled in well and shown what he's about, even if he's not quite among the best centre-backs in the league yet. Erik ten Hag was the manager who signed Quansah, and Kasper Dolmund has since taken over. But even amid the potential chaos that might have caused, Leverkusen sits 6th in the Bundesliga standings, and the former Liverpool man has done well. What really stands out is his composure. He's brave on the ball and his passing range is top class for a centre-back, Gerolf says. On top of that, he has good pace, which is crucial for a Leverkusen side playing with a high defensive line. That said, there's still room to grow. To reach the very top, he needs to cut out lapses in concentration and add a bit more physicality to truly dominate his duels. While Liverpool has already snapped up Giovanni Leone and lined up an $83 million, £60 million deal for Jeremy Jacquet, Quansah could still return at some point. If he does, he will be a much better player for the experience. Short-term, Quansah would have been useful for Slot this season, but the longer term normally takes precedence at Liverpool. He needed a platform to develop, and at Bayer Leverkusen, he has found one. Liverpool transfer news as Diomande definitely an option and release clause nears. Liverpool transfer news as Diomande is definitely being watched by the club, while the Reds could take advantage of a release clause set to become active soon. Liverpool looks as though it could be set for another busy summer, although there's plenty of work to do before the transfer window opens again. Arne Slot's team is in FA Cup action today against Brighton, but the Reds' biggest priority lies in ensuring they qualify for next season's Champions League, which looks to be a tough task as they chase down Manchester United and Chelsea. Being at Europe's top table again next season could prove to be crucial, especially if the club is to add to Jeremy Jacquet with some more big signings, with yet more rumors regarding the Reds' potential business. Diomande is definitely being watched by Liverpool, with the Reds in the market for a new winger this summer, David Lynch has told Anfield Index. It's claimed that the RB Leipzig star is on Liverpool's radar, although it is pointed out that he is also being eyed up by a number of other clubs. Lynch though admits he would be surprised if the Reds don't sign a new winger in the summer, with a change in their approach making Diomande's signing more likely. Liverpool looks to be more willing to spend big on younger players, as made evident by the signing of Jacquet, and even with just 20 Bundesliga appearances to his name, it might be willing to make the jump for the 19-year-old. Liverpool could take advantage of a new release clause for Denzel Dumfries this summer, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport. The Reds were linked with the Inter Milan fullback during the winter window, and Sempre Inter claims they are still monitoring the 29-year-old. Dumfries will be available as a €25 million, $30 million, release clause becomes active in July, and it's suggested that the Dutch international wants to leave Inter, although his departure will depend on what offers he receives. Liverpool hero banished from club sent 3am Snapchat plea, "I cannot accept the lie." The former Liverpool star once took to social media to voice his grievances against the club. Liverpool cult hero Mamadou Sakho once took to Snapchat to air his side of the story after being banished to the youth team by Jurgen Klopp. Sakho, now 35, officially retired from football last month after being without a club since May 2025. The French defender was brought to Liverpool by ex-manager Brendan Rodgers in September 2013 in a bid to toughen up the club's backline. Arriving from Paris Saint-Germain for £18 million, Sakho became the most expensive centre-half in the club's history at the time. By September 2013, Sakho, then just 23, had represented France on 14 occasions. Expectations were high amongst Liverpool fans, to say the very least. Sakho's debut campaign nearly delivered the Reds their first Premier League title in almost 25 years. Yet, he featured in just 18 Premier League games as Liverpool's backline leaked 50 goals, ultimately costing them the championship. The French star came in for a barrage of criticism. He appeared hesitant in possession, clumsy in the challenge, and was never truly embraced by Rodgers. After Rodgers was dismissed in October 2015 and Jurgen Klopp was installed as manager, Sakho found himself included in the German's debut Liverpool lineup at Spurs as he gained the new manager's trust. Sakho was also outstanding in the Europa League that season as Liverpool progressed to the final. He famously scored in the stunning 4-3 turnaround against Borussia Dortmund in the competition's semi-final at Anfield. He later bewitched fans with his claims that he puts himself on the line for the Liverpool country. The centre-half was riding a wave of popularity with the cop, but one that was about to hit the wall. In April 2016, Sakho was rocked by a serious doping suspension. He had opted against undergoing a second test after the initial sample detected a fat-burning substance, resulting in a 30-day suspension before the sanction was overturned on appeal. He would subsequently secure significant damages against the World Anti-Doping Agency after it was determined that hygenamine was not prohibited by WADA. The heartbreaking saga ruled him out of the Europa League final with Sevilla and France's squad for that summer's European Championships. From that point onwards, Sakho's career on Merseyside spiraled. Following the ban, he returned with hopes of a fresh start, planning to quietly challenge the World Anti-Doping Agency whilst resuming his playing career. Despite being cleared in July and receiving an apology from WADA, his opportunity to rebuild during Liverpool's pre-season tour of America fell flat. Sakho's downfall at Anfield gathered pace when he clashed with Klopp whilst undergoing treatment for an Achilles issue in America. His conduct at the training camp sparked worries, prompting Klopp to swiftly send him back to Merseyside. The centre-back's actions in California proved to be the breaking point for Klopp, whose patience had worn thin. Sakho was demoted to the under-23s and never featured for the senior side again. That August, WADA announced they would not contest UEFA's decision to exonerate Sakho. He was subsequently informed that a loan move was necessary if he wished to continue competing at the highest level. In a 3am Snapchat post, he vented his frustrations about his predicament. He wrote, "Now it's 3 weeks I am fit to play games, and I did all my rehabilitation work. They don't want me to play also with the Sagan team, U23s, lol. Why? I don't know. I am still working hard like a Scouse soldier. Still not talking, because I want to speak on the pitch. I will speak soon for the people who support in me and don't understand the situation." He added, "I accept my situation, but I can't accept the lie. The fans deserve to know the truth. Thanks for your support." When January 2017 came around, Sakho departed Liverpool, sealing a loan switch to Crystal Palace. Sakho performed so impressively in South London that the Eagles even broke their transfer record to sign him permanently in the summer of 2017, shelling out a substantial £25 million. He departed in the summer of 2022. Sakho later featured for Montpellier and finally for Torpedo Kutaisi in the Georgian First Division before calling time on his colourful career earlier this year.